Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS. Let's get to the news. Alright, Falcons fans, sit tight because today's news is nothing short of shocking. It's the kind of move that could reshape the entire NFC South landscape. As many of you might have already heard, there's been a development that caught everyone off guard. Kirk Cousins, the veteran quarterback who has been linked to several teams this offseason, has been released by the Atlanta Falcons. That's right. After what seemed like a promising period with the Falcons, the team has decided to part ways with Cousins. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this mean for the Falcons, for the division, and most importantly, what are the team's plans moving forward? Well, let's unpack everything and see what might be coming next. First off, let's talk about the context. Kirk Cousins, for those who might need a quick refresher, has been a reliable if not spectacular quarterback over his career. He's known for his consistency, his ability to make throws under pressure, and his experience in the league. The Falcons, coming off a season where they showed flashes of promise, had hoped that Cousins could be a stabilizing presence under center, especially given the instability they faced at the quarterback position in recent years. With the Falcons controlling his rights for the next 3 seasons, there was a lot of speculation about how they would use him, whether as a starter or in a backup role. But now, that plan appears to be changing. What's really intriguing here is the timing. The NFL free agency period officially kicks off on March 10th, and this move to release Cousins seems to be strategically timed. It's almost like the Falcons are trying to keep their options open, not just with Cousins, but with the entire quarterback market. You see, the league is full of teams desperately searching for a quarterback, teams that are willing to throw big money and draft capital at the right guy to turn their fortunes around. Cousins, despite his experience, might no longer fit into the Falcons' long-term plans, especially if they have a different vision for their future quarterback. Now, I want you to consider the broader picture. The Falcons have been vocal about their interest in keeping Cousins as a backup, but let's be honest, sometimes words are just words, especially in a sport as cutthroat as the NFL. The reality is that the team might see more value in moving on, especially if they believe they can find a younger, more cost-effective option either through the draft or via free agency. Remember, the NFL is a league where timing and cap space are everything. Cutting Cousins after the June 1st deadline, which would be a post-June 1st release, allows the Falcons to spread out his dead cap hit over 2 years, easing the financial burden and giving them more flexibility to sign new talent. This decision also raises questions about what the Falcons are planning to do next. Are they looking to draft a young quarterback to develop, or are they eyeing a veteran free agent who can step in immediately and lead the team? It's a pivotal moment, and the team's moves over the coming weeks will tell us a lot. For example, if they target a quarterback early in the draft, it might suggest they want to build for the future. But if they go after a seasoned veteran in free agency, it could mean they're aiming for a quick turnaround, trying to contend right now. Let's not forget about the other factors at play. The NFC South is arguably one of the most competitive divisions in the league right now, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all making significant moves in recent seasons. The Falcons, by releasing Cousins, might be trying to shake things up and position themselves as a more aggressive contender. They've shown flashes of offensive power last season, especially with their young core of players, and adding a new quarterback or a different strategic approach could be what pushes them over the edge. Looking at the roster, we can't ignore the importance of the weapons around the quarterback position. The Falcons boast some talented players, and a new signal caller or a different plan might unlock even more potential from this offense. The offensive line has been improving, and the coaching staff has emphasized a balanced attack. If they decide to bring in a quarterback with mobility and improvisation skills, something that has become more valuable in today's NFL, it could change the entire dynamic of their offense. Now, let's consider what this means for the Falcons fans. It's a moment of uncertainty, but also of opportunity. The team has a chance to reset, to rebuild with a fresh approach, and to make bold moves that could pay dividends in the coming seasons. It's worth noting that the Falcons have been building a solid foundation with their young talent, including players like Drake London and Bijan Robinson, who are poised to be some of the league's top offensive weapons. A new quarterback or strategic shift could maximize their talents and elevate the team to new heights. And I know many fans are curious about the future of the coaching staff, especially head coach Arthur Smith. He's been a key figure in shaping this team's identity, focused on a strong running game, disciplined defense, and an evolving passing attack. His philosophy emphasizes adaptability and smart decision-making, so it will be interesting to see how he leverages this roster moving forward. Will we see the Falcons draft a quarterback to develop behind the scenes, or will they look to sign a veteran to immediately compete for the starting role? Whatever the case, it's a puzzle that the front office is undoubtedly carefully considering. There's also the element of cap space and financial flexibility. Releasing Cousins after June 1st will help the Falcons free up some valuable cap room, which they can then redirect towards other areas, be it signing free agents, extending key players, or adding depth in specific positions. The NFL's salary cap is a complex puzzle, and smart teams know how to maneuver within it to maximize their roster's potential. Now, I want to touch on how this decision might impact the NFC South division as a whole. We've seen the Panthers aggressively add talent this offseason, and the Saints are always a wild card with their mix of veteran leadership and young talent. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are also not to be underestimated, especially with their recent Super Bowl experience. The Falcons' move to release Cousins might be a strategic attempt to shake things up, to become more flexible and adaptable, and to position themselves as a team that can compete fiercely in 2025 and beyond. Of course, the fans' reactions will be mixed. Some might be disappointed because they believed Cousins could be the guy to lead them to the playoffs, or even a Super Bowl. Others might see this as a smart, necessary move, an opportunity to rebuild with a younger quarterback or to create space for future signings. Whatever your perspective, one thing is clear. The Falcons are not afraid to make bold decisions, and this move proves that they're willing to shake up the status quo to find their path to success. What is next for Kirk Cousins? Well, the league is full of teams looking for a veteran presence at quarterback, especially those with playoff aspirations but in need of stability. Cousins, with his experience and leadership qualities, will likely attract interest from teams in need of a reliable starter or an experienced backup. It's entirely possible that he will find a new home before long, or perhaps he'll wait for the perfect opportunity to emerge in free agency. Looking ahead, the Falcons' plan might be to focus on the draft, targeting a signal caller who can grow into the franchise quarterback they've been searching for, or they might try to swing a trade, bringing in a veteran to fill the gap while their young talent develops. Either way, the next few weeks are critical, and the NFL offseason promises to be full of surprises. As a Falcons fan, you should feel a mix of excitement and anticipation. Change is never easy, but it's often necessary for growth. The team's front office has shown that they're willing to make tough decisions if it means building a stronger, more competitive squad. The key will be how they execute their strategy in free agency and the draft, and how quickly they can adapt to the new landscape of the NFL. And remember, this isn't just about one player or one move. It's about the bigger picture, building a team that can contend for a Super Bowl, that can dominate the NFC South, and that makes us all proud to be Falcons fans. The road ahead might be uncertain, but if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that the Atlanta Falcons are never afraid to take bold steps in pursuit of greatness. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what's next for the Falcons? Well, the next few weeks will be crucial. Will they target a quarterback early in the draft? Will they look to free agency for a veteran to lead the team? Or perhaps they're already negotiating behind the scenes to find the perfect fit. The NFL offseason is a whirlwind of rumors, signings, and strategic moves, and the Falcons are right in the middle of it. One thing's for sure, this decision to release Kirk Cousins marks a new chapter for the franchise. It's a bold move, one that could pay off big time if executed correctly. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. Are you excited about the direction the team is headed? Do you think they made the right move? Or are you worried about what this means for the upcoming season? I want to hear all of it. Remember, your voice is part of this community, and together we're building a strong, passionate Falcons family. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, let's keep cheering for our Falcons. Fly, Falcons, fly.